Let's start this with a prayer. Dear Father, I thank you for this day and this opportunity to be used as a vessel to let your people know you are available, able, and ready in the name of Jesus of Nazareth. Let's cut this bread. Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong, take courage. Don't be intimidated. Don't give them a second thought, because God, your God, is standing ahead of you. He's right there with you. He won't let you down. He won't leave you. Deuteronomy 32:10. He found him in a desert land, in the howling wasteland of a wilderness. He kept circling him. He took care of him. He protected him as the apple of his eye. And then 32:18, Deuteronomy. You were unmindful of the rock who bore you, and you forgot the God who gave you birth. Every day. Every day he's trying to get somebody's attention. Like, you were here, I was there. You went that way, I was already there. You try to go back, I try to bring you forward. Now, I had seen something on Facebook about this pastor committing suicide. They started talking about mental illness. Listen, if there is something wrong with you mentally, yeah, pray, right? But you don't think that God gave people the insight to know how the mind works to help you see things from a different perspective? And it's rough when you're depressed. It's rough when you're in a place where you're unreachable and you isolate yourself to, oh my gosh, what did he say? A desert land, a howling wasteland of a wilderness. I believe that God is giving me enough experience to make me a professional in the realm of mental illness. From the age of 10, like, I was hating myself. Hated the way I looked. And believe you me, it was outside forces that prompted, these thoughts to happen this way. And that's when the door opened for me to just, low self-esteem. I started having anxiety, and like my stomach would start hurting. I went to counselors. I was in foster care. I had a lot of external things that were destroying me internally. In my mind first, because it ruminated over and 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 over. And when it's really hard for kids. It's really hard for kids, especially when they don't have someone to talk to, right? So being young, having anxiety, not being diagnosed with it, but, they could have diagnosed me with PTSD because I was in foster care. I was taken away from my mom, separated from my family. Like, it was a big thing. Then as I got older, other things started happening. So now my symptoms started getting worse. And it ultimately took me to a point where, I attempted suicide. Because the pressure of trying to be everything for everyone, but not having anyone there for you is too much. And let me tell you, sometimes it's not always the devil. It's God giving you over to your ways and allowing you to suffer, hoping that the weight of everything that's going on would compel you to come to him. So he could give you rest, so he could give you peace, so he can give you strength. But it doesn't always happen like that, because sometimes when you're so far in a pit, you feel like God is beyond reach. And that's literally what it is. Like, I had my accident in 2015. After, like, the accident and trying to get back with my life, like, I felt the pressure of not being whole, of not being able to perform, to my best abilities, having to do this solo dolo, like with kids. It's a lot. It is a lot. I was a correctional officer. I used to have panic attacks in the dorm because the pressure of being caged in like an animal, and then having to deal with multiple personalities, and I'm talking about in one dorm and then also in individuals, was a lot. And then dealing with my life. Like, there's so many times where, you know, and I went to go see people, but then I came to a point where it was like, they can't help me. You know, because what they want to do is they want to prescribe a drug and, you know, they want to mask it, which enhances, for me, it enhanced my suicidal thoughts. It enhanced the depression, making me feel like just down. But a big part of that was I didn't reach out. I didn't tell nobody I was going through what I was going through. Just constantly like, God, you know. Blah, 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 blah. Deuteronomy 31:6, God said, be strong, take courage, don't be intimidated, don't give them a second thought, because God, your God, is striding ahead of you. He's right there with you. He won't let you down. He won't leave you. If it wasn't for him, I would have been gone. And I would not have been here to realize the ramifications of my actions when it came to my children and the people that love me, and how they would have a void, because I have a grandpa that's gone and I have a sister that's gone. So death does leave voids, you know, and ultimately it's God who wants to fill them. In 32, it says he will capture, he kept circling him, took care of him. He protected him as the apple of his eye. And let's just say he kept circling Tanya. He took care of Tanya. He protected Tanya as the apple of his eye. And that's what he did. Listen, it's a lot. And some therapies work different for different people. For me, the therapies didn't work. I did talk therapy. I did medicinal therapy, where, you know, I'm taking the medication thinking this is gonna whatever. I did journaling. Like, who knows what's on your heart? Who knows how heavy it is? And to see this pastor, like, you know, and a lot of people think that it's just, oh, you believe in God, God's supposed to handle everything. Listen, because of my foolish ways, one time when I was doing ecstasy for a whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, by Wednesday, I woke up with suicidal thoughts that did not stop. And I couldn't stop crying. And I felt like, and it probably was a lack of dopamine and serotonin. You know, I felt like I was better off dead. God literally said, go get help. So I had to check myself into Rogers. And when I was there, I realized that I have more strength than I thought. Because there's real life people who are just so far gone. So far gone. Where now their problems have engaged them so much that they are their problem. 32:18, God said, you were unmindful of the rock who bore you, and you forgot the God who gave you birth. Things are a lot smoother now as I include God in everything. I'm not going to tell you that I have days where everything is perfect, because it's not. I mean, some days I get attacked too. And I'll just be like, oh, it's overwhelming. But I'm not going to let it take me back to a place that I've been at so many times in my life where I'm defeated. Because when you get defeated, you don't want to get up. You don't want to fight. You don't care. And that's a horrible place to be. A desert land in the howling wasteland of a wilderness. Everything that just burdens you down is attacking you. And it's like you're suffocating. You couldn't even call for help if you wanted to. God's saying, I'm available, though. I'm available. Come talk to me and I'm going to tell you where you need to go, who you need to talk to, what you need to do. Let me help you get you right. He loves you, but you got to understand there's curses too. If I would have kept refusing to come and talk to God, to come and include God in what I was doing, I would have prolonged my wilderness stay and the beatings that I took amongst the elements. Because when you're in the wilderness, everything beats you up. can't move, you can't eat. Dude, I remember going months with eating like 3 or 4 times a week. Then I remember overeating. You all know when it comes, it's visible. Listen, it's a horrible thing when people suffer in silence. But you gotta understand they're weak. You can't call out for strength when you're in those places. My heart goes out to the pastor and his family because it's devastating for a loss on any level, especially to God. If you're his child, he cares for you. He wants you to be well. He wants to put you on good ground, get you right for the land that you're about to enter and possess, where you really gotta fight. The time is short. Jesus on his way back ASAP. Let God help you navigate through the things in your mind that make you feel inadequate or not worthy, because you are worthy to him. And if you know somebody that suffers from depression, 9 out of 10 times they're not going to tell you. It'll be little signs of like not going out or stopping, things that their patterns are disrupted, and being more isolated, and it's more self-defeating talk. For me, I don't let everybody in. But even to have someone on the side like, hey, I'm here for you, is amazing. And I'm glad that I had God to help pull me out, to help me see what I was doing or allowing to happen to myself. Oh, this happens and you're like, oh my gosh, but I can't make it. I'm never gonna make it. I'm never gonna be good enough. And not knowing that I have the power to take these things captive in my mind, so they don't kill me, so they don't destroy me, so they don't depress me, so they don't put me in panic mode because I'm out here trying to do it on my own. You ain't got to do it on your own. God is available. And listen, like I said before, God is in control of everything. He will tell you to go get help when you need help. Include him in all your ways and watch how things start lifting. Watch how you see when, the negative thoughts enter your mind, you shut them down. Like, nah, we ain't doing this today. Give you the strength to fight back for you. You're amazing. And he loves you. Holla at him.